Good afternoon, everybody. Welcome to this webinar, Opportunities with Sky. I'm Nahal from the Target Jobs events team, and we are joined today by some wonderful representatives from Sky who are going to be answering all your burning questions. If you do have any questions, please make sure to put them in the questions tab at the bottom right. And if you want to show your appreciation throughout the webinar as well, please use the chat tab and share any thoughts that you might have. So this is going to be a really interactive session where you can just ask questions and our representatives will answer them. So to begin with, we're just going to have our representatives introduce themselves, let us know who they are, what they do at Sky, and what their background is. So maybe we could start with Anu. Could you share with us who you are, what you do at Sky, and what you studied beforehand?
Hi everyone, I'm Anu. I'm currently on the business strategy graduate scheme. I'm currently in Sky Protect Marketing, and I went to the University of Warwick and I studied biochemistry as part of my undergraduate degree. So yeah.
Amazing, thank you so much. And Zavia, maybe we could go to you next.
Sure. So hi everyone, I'm Zavia. I'm in the data and analytics grad scheme, and I did computer science at uni, but data is very varied. So we have like psychology, maths, economics, all sorts of people.
Lovely, and maybe we can pass on over to you, Sharon.
Yeah, hi everyone. So I'm Sharon. I'm from the Early Careers Attraction team. So my role is to market all the different kind of opportunities that we have in grad internships and apprenticeships to young people, any kind of social content, website, adverts, that kind of thing. If you see them, they're all coming out of my team. I've been in my role nearly 6 years. I'm still very excited about my role. It's quite fun and get to do new things every year. And my background is actually in psychology. I didn't do marketing as my background, and I went to the University of Canterbury. So, you know, it's a little bit further south, but it's a lovely city if you guys haven't been.
Amazing. And finally, Becky, could you share with us the same?
Yeah, of course. I'm Becky, and I just started the business operations grad scheme in September. So I'm brand new. My background, I call myself a mature grad, so it's a little non-traditional. I'm 33, and I did my degree with Open University in psychology and philosophy, and I just graduated from that a year ago. So yeah, non-traditional route, but it's definitely applicable. And yeah.
Amazing. Thank you all for answering that question. So just one thing to get a little bit of engagement from all the 75 people who I think are logged on at the moment. Could you let us know what university you're studying at, just to get a little bit of, get the chat tab going? Just let us know what university you're at, where you're from, just to get a little bit of engagement before we get the questions going. So we've got University of Brighton, Heriot Watt, Aston University, UCL, Queen Mary, Leeds, Southampton, Bristol, all over the place. Nice, perfect. Now, whilst some more people are writing their universities, please go to the questions tab and start typing some of your burning questions. Our team are here to answer anything that you'd like to know about opportunities at Sky. I'm wondering if, Sharon, if you want to maybe also tell us a little bit about some of the key opportunities that you want to highlight before we start getting more questions in from the students.
Yeah, sure. And I've actually, I think I've seen a question about when to best apply for a graduate role that starts in September 26th. So actually now is the best time to apply, actually. So our roles are live on our website. So if you just go to skyearlycareers.com, all one word, and you'll get to our homepage where you can kind of see the different types of graduate and obviously summer internship opportunities. So we are taking applications from now. We are starting to get a lot of interest, which is great. So if you are interested in one of our opportunities, pop on the website and you can kind of like look through the different types of opportunities. And if you aren't sure what type of opportunity you want to go for, we do have a little quiz on our website. So you can answer a number of questions and it kind of gives you like a top 3 of what we think programs will match you based on some of your skills. So it asks you kind of like, do you prefer this or do you prefer this? And then it kind of matches you on a percentage point which programs we think that you might be interested in. So it's definitely worth a go. And that, you know, sometimes I go on just for fun to see what kind of programs come up when I do it. So yeah, if you don't know, then it's always good to jump on the quiz. So in terms of the programs that we have some lovely business. So the business strategy program is now called the Business Graduate Program. So that's live, and we have some internships that lead into that. So if you're in your second year, then definitely have a look at them, because the applications for the internships are also open, and they would be starting in July next year. So I'll definitely have a look if you're interested in internships. We have the what we call Business Ops program. So that's up in Livingston. So that one is live as well. We also have a new program called Business Sales. So that's exciting. It's a role that starts in Leeds. So a little bit of a different location, but obviously we want to ensure that we have opportunities across the UK. We've got finance. So we've got a great finance program. We've got data analytics. We've got data science. So we've got a nice kind of broad structure program. So I'll definitely hop on the website and have a look.
Lovely. Thank you so much, Sharon. So I can see quite a few questions are coming through. I'm wondering, before we start to address them, maybe we could just have some kind of feedback from Becky, Zubia, and Anu about your journey. So a little bit more detail about what the process was like when you applied initially, and then I will jump straight into the questions coming through on the questions tab. So whichever you'd like to take that first, it'd be really interesting to hear your journey.
Yeah, sure, I don't mind. I just want to say as well, I accidentally pressed a button to start a live answer, and I was just meant to scroll, so that's a mistake. So my journey, as I said, was like sort of, I can see a question there that's like, is this opportunity only for people in university? And no, it's not. So I'd graduated for a year before I even found the scheme, because I just did the degree for the sake of it. I just wanted to do it. I didn't really plan on using it. And then, but once I graduated, I was like, oh, maybe I can use it. Because I thought I was too old to be a grad. I thought they were only available like for people at university. So when I did some research and found this one and a couple of others, I was like, oh, I can be a grad. How exciting. So yeah, I was a year out of my degree before I applied. So definitely, I don't know if there's a limit on how graduated you need to be, like a 2-year, 3-year. There's no limit. Oh, there you go. As long as you have a degree, you're fine. Doesn't matter when you got it. My application process. So I only discovered, like, I'd finished my degree and then discovered it around about the time that applications were already closed for obviously that year. They'd already hired them. So I applied for the following year. And the process for me was really quick. So I got sent the assessment, did the assessment thing online, and then straight after that, I got invited to a sort of what's it called, assessment day. Mine was virtual, and they called me on the Monday, offered me the assessment place on the Wednesday, and then on the Thursday they offered me the job. So it was quite a quick turnaround for me. I don't know if that will happen for everyone. I might have been a special case. I think I was actually, and I asked this lately because I've been helping out. Was I like just made the cut, and they said yes, someone dropped out of their assessment day, and then they called me, and here I am. So so you never know where your chips are going to fall. Definitely take advantage of it. I think they made the right decision. Thank you to whoever dropped out. Yeah, that is my journey thus far.
I didn't mind going next. My journey into Sky was quite unconventional, if I do say so myself. Much like Becky. Well, I graduated this year actually, but I initially applied through the Target Jobs and Sky collaboration for top 40 undergraduates, top Black undergraduate of the year. So I was shortlisted as top 40, and I was part of the like Keep Warm batch, which meant I was shortlisted for the internship. And I was able to like be fast tracked to the assessment center, and then I got the internship. So initially I was supposed to do 4 years at uni, but I no longer wanted to do the integrated masters for biochemistry. So I emailed them around the time to like ask if there was any way that I could actually apply for the business strategy grad scheme. And because the assessment centers are essentially the same, they compared my grade, like my score from the assessment center from my summer to the assessment centers for the grad scheme. And then by the grace, I was able to get the grad scheme. So that's how I got here. Yeah.
That's cool. Can you hear me properly? Okay, cool. So I was just a regular applicant. just a regular Schmuggler applicant. I applied very similar to Becky. Stages were very similar, but I'd imagine our assessment centres were quite different in terms of technicality. I saw a question earlier which says, what level of programming do you need for tech roles? And for data analytics, data science, and cybersecurity, you don't actually need any programming for the application process. So everything that they require of you technically will be taught to you once you join. So that's really, really cool. I'm sure software engineering is a bit different, but yeah, any sort of coding, anything that you need will be taught to you. So yeah, the 2 digital assessments similar to Becky, and then assessment center, which was all day long, and just the regular, like group assessment, interview, individual tasks. That was for data and analytics.
Thank you so much for answering. So we're going to now go through the questions up. I think quite a lot have come through, so this should keep us quite occupied. Abdul has asked, when is the best time to apply for a graduate role for September 2026? He's in his final year studying computer science BSc. Whoever wants to take that can take it.
As soon as possible.
Literally what I
ASAP.
was going to say. Because I find that obviously more and more people are knowing about the grad schemes, the internships now. So like as soon as they come out, people are applying. So you kind of want to get in there early. Obviously I don't believe they give out roles on a rolling basis. They assess everyone around the same time. But it's more so once they have a certain number of applications, they tend to close it just to give everyone a fair chance.
Lovely, great. So Mubarak has asked, when will the technology graduate roles be announced? Are they also live at the moment?
So I'll answer this one. So they're not live at the moment, the technology programs. We are still having some internal discussions about it. So it's we're just talking about it internally. And obviously we'll make an announcement as soon as we are able to share anything.
Wonderful. Okay, so Daniel has asked, do you offer any UX or product design related roles?
So I can answer that. Yes, we do. So they normally come a little bit later. So we have a part of Sky called Sky Design, and those kind of roles are sitting in that team. So those roles normally go live February, March time. So I would say if you are interested in that side of things, then I would definitely wait a little bit longer if you can until those opportunities open then.
Brilliant. Tunazom has asked, please, when will applications for the cybersecurity graduate role commence?
So I think for that one, it's kind of cybersecurity kind of sits in our technology function. So we are just waiting for the kind of details for that one. So once we are able to share some more, we'll definitely make that announcement.
Thanks so much, Sharon. Okay, so Dilpreet has asked, I've applied for the business graduate program at Sky. I've also noticed there is a digital program, however, it isn't open yet. What does this role entail? They're focusing more on marketing/business management roles.
That's probably another one for me, just because it's the digital program is a new program, so we've never had this program before. It's the first time we're running it. The digital program, I kind of see it as a bit of a pan-Sky program. So it is a program that allows you to work with lots of different functions within Sky, but the focus is around marketing and business in particular. So I think, I would definitely have a look and see which one you prefer out the two based on the description of them, just because you're in the digital role, you would work with the departments that are in the business program, but you won't sit in that department. You'll work with them. Whereas if you apply for the business program, those are the departments that you actually work in. So it depends on what kind of role type that you prefer, and whether you want to be working with these teams or whether you want to work in those teams.
Also worth noting as well, I mean, correct me if I'm wrong, but I think because he says they've already applied, you can only apply for one graduate scheme per intake, so you can't apply for multiple schemes. So it's really important to make sure you research what you actually want to do before you apply, because you can only do one. Is that right?
Yeah, that is correct. I would say that if you decide that you definitely want to go for the digital program and not the business one, then you can message us and let us know that you want to transfer your application, and we can see how we can do that. Obviously, it's not yet ready yet to kind of take applications, but if that is something that you decide that you want to do, then please message in. But you are allowed to apply for one.
Sorry, just to add as well, you talked about wanting to like focus on marketing and the business aspect within the like business strategy grad scheme, or like the business grad scheme. You work more on like rotation, so you go to like different business areas, so you may not always be in marketing. Of course, my first rotation is marketing, but I know some people whose first rotation is trading, and then their next one is commercial, and then when they get to second year they have to kind of choose what their next ones would be. So you may be on the business strategy or business grad scheme and not do any marketing at all, kind of, if you don't choose that as one of your rotations. So just like having that as something to think about as well.
Thank you so much, Anu and Sharon and Becky, for those answers. So this is a slightly different one. Aiden has asked, are there any entry-level legal opportunities at Sky?
So sometimes there is, yes. I would say that they're not managed by the early careers team in particular, but if we do have any, they are advertised on the careers website, the wider careers website. So if you, I suppose, keep your eye out on the website, you'll be able to see if we've got any. But I do know that it's not being run by us, so I can't really say when they would be.
Thanks, Sharon. Vishak asks, how is Sky looking at AI and job roles? Will there be new and upcoming roles like AI engineers, data scientists, etc.?
That's a great question. AI is really important for Sky. There are multiple kind of AI, I suppose, champions within the company, which is really great to see how we can use AI in our jobs. It is going to be an important part of any of the tech programs. We are looking, is one of the things that they're looking at, is how we integrate AI and get people trained up on using AI well, and being able to identify how AI can improve their roles and ensure that they can, I suppose, work more efficiently and speedily. So it is really important for us to use it, and it is going to be part of everyone's job, I suppose, within the company, not just within tech. But I do know that tech are specifically looking at it as part of the programs, the program like training up front.
I'd like to add that the data analytics and data science rotations do have AI related rotations. So we have like machine learning processes that we use within our rotations, and we have data engineering rotations. So all of that will be part of the scheme should you choose to join.
And
Yeah,
even
just
just to add,
oh, sorry.
oh, sorry, go ahead.
No, you go.
Oh, thank you. Even just to add, like within like business strategy and all the teams within like more like less technical in terms of like data and AI and stuff, we're encouraged to use something called Copilot. So using Copilot to like aid our work, make sure that we streamline our processes, just to make sure that like we're putting out the best work that we can, but also that the customer has like the best experience with our products, with our marketing, just basically with everything that we do. So yeah.
Yeah, that was basically what I was going to say. Like, I can speak to that. AI is encouraged to be used daily, and we have AI learning sessions every Friday that I take part in, and about the best ways to utilize Copilot and creating agents as well to take care of some of the sort of mundane, more admin tasks that you do just to free up time. It's not considered cheating. It might be in your assessments and application, though. Don't use it for that. But in your job role itself, it's very much encouraged.
Brilliant, that was super helpful. Thank you all. Muskan asks, is there any internship opportunity available at Sky? I'm currently doing my master's and looking for an internship opportunity. I wonder if, Anu, you want to talk to this, because obviously you've mentioned that you've done an internship.
Oh, so I didn't actually end up doing the internship. So my internship offer got converted into the grad offer. But I know a lot of people that did actually do the internship. So you can do it in a wide range of things. So there's group control, like group strategy, I believe, the commercial internship. There's also like different tech internships that you can do depending on like what you're interested in. And it runs from July to like August, September time. And people tend to learn a lot. Like they actually give you work to do. They like immerse you in the culture of Sky and make sure that like you're prepared for the working world as you come into the grad scheme. Sorry, could you remind me of the question again, just to make sure I'm answering it like to the best of my ability?
Yeah, of course, just if there are internship opportunities available and they're doing their masters and they just wanted to know if it's available, and it is, so yeah.
Oh yeah, there definitely are, so yeah, please do apply.
Amazing, thank you so much. I'm just flicking through just because some of the questions have already been answered and some are quite similar. So this has come up a few times, but Michael asks if there is a chance for job sponsorship visa at Sky because he's no longer in the UK anymore.
So I can answer that question. We do require you to have the right to work for our programs. Sky doesn't offer sponsorship, I'm afraid.
Thank you, Sharon. Okay, scrolling up, seeing some more questions. I've seen some come through in the chat as well. So Nusaiba says, what specific skills, experiences, or personal qualities do you find often missing from applications? And how can I effectively highlight these in my application to demonstrate my fit for Sky? It's a great question.
I can answer in the feedback I got. I think oftentimes people they kind of underestimate the value of using what they already do in their day to day. So like, I didn't have necessarily any corporate experience apart from the fact that like, I volunteered, like I volunteered during my childhood, and I was volunteering and welfare officer for my university ACS. So like translating that, like I was good at timekeeping. I know how to work as a team, in a team. I know how to like deal with difficult stakeholders, that type of thing. Like really highlighting that in my application, I think is what like pushed me through. And also like working out loud. They're not trying to catch you out with the questions. They're not trying to like be like, oh yeah, she did that, so I'm gonna strike her off the list. It's more so like they want to see that you're somebody that's teachable. They want to see that you're somebody that is willing to learn things even if you don't necessarily understand them immediately. So even in the assessment center, there's like a task that they give you, and you kind of have to work through something. So kind of giving your reasoning for how you got to the end answer is kind of what they want to see. They want to see, okay, she started with A, she got to B, how did she get to C? And basically working that out loud for them to hear. So yeah.
Yeah, just to add on that, I completely agree. I've always believed that it's not what you've done, but how you present yourself and how what you learned from what you've done. So really pick out those key skills that you've learned from whatever it is, like volunteering or societies or whatever. And you mentioned the assessment center about interviews. They really are looking for your authentic self, your real personality. So just truly, truly just be yourself and really show your personality, because Sky is always looking for people who fit within the culture of Sky. And that is, like working in a team, being super open, being super friendly. So just really show your true personality. I know that sounds really cringe, but it really is just the truth.
Oh, you're absolutely right. I mean, I'll share the feedback I got after my assessment day was that I made the interviewers feel comfortable, which is an interesting feedback. But it's basically, I would say, and I've told this to a couple of people, is that when you do the assessment day and you're being interviewed, the people interviewing you are not special in a sense. They're just colleagues at Sky. Like the recruitment is not part of their regular job. They might be just as nervous as you. They're there to help out. Like just have a conversation with them and treat them like people. Don't be afraid to have a conversation, to divert from the topic, to have a joke with them or something like that. I think I made a countdown reference during one of mine. I can't remember why, but it made them laugh. It made them feel comfortable, and it just puts them at ease. If you can do what you can to put them at ease, then that'll stand you in great stead as well. Because like they're not there with a checkbox list of things like, oh, they didn't mention this, or they have this skill. They don't really care. They because once you're in Sky, they teach you everything. So they're not so much looking at all these skills that you have. They're looking at who you are as a person, how you come across, how you work with others, and just your general vibe, to be totally cringe, but it's true.
And even just to add, like, I think sometimes we kind of like focus on the company, like, oh, how do they see us fitting in? But like, how do you see yourself fitting in? So I would definitely say, like, look at the company's ethos, look at their values, like what they stand for, what they're actually doing in wider society, and see, like, is this somewhere that I could see myself personally, and do I feel like I could be myself here? Because at the end of the day, you don't want to be somewhere where you're not going to be happy. And I definitely will say, at least for me personally, Sky is like amazing. Everybody's so welcoming. They really do stand by their ethos and values. So yeah.
Yeah, I'd agree with that. If you want something to come across, I would say tips for interviews as well, just to help it come across naturally, is to find anything about Sky that you like. And it can be ranging from like just their programs that you really like, or the way they produce content. It could be their goals and around sustainability, like net zero by 2030, the work they're doing there, any works they do in the community, anything at all that sort of matches your personal values, then that'll come across naturally when you interview. So I think that's a really good tip as well. I settled on their sustainability because that was really important for me. So when that came up in conversation, I was like, oh yeah, I really like, I felt a bit nervous working for a big company, but it's a company that has good values. So that's not bad.
Lovely. Thank you all again. Tom has asked a question about assessment centres. So is there anything you would recommend doing before the online assessments or assessment centre to prepare?
So before this is just on the tech side, but before your assessment center, you'll have a briefing call, which is someone from the early careers team will talk you through every single thing that you'll be doing in the assessment center. So the group task, the individual task, and the interview, they even tell you what's going to happen in the interview, what type of interview it is. So depending on your scheme, you really don't need to prepare for the assessment center. You really just be your best self and come as you are, because that's what Sky really wants to see.
I think with the business strategy one, same as the tech one, they do a like pre assessment center call just to like basically give you the rundown. And it's basically to put you on to level the playing field essentially. So obviously they'll have people that were on the internship that may have had all this information before you, or like people that were already kind of in the business. So kind of leveling the playing field was giving you all the information that you need. I think the only thing again I would mention is their values and ethos, and as Becky said, like things that Sky are actually doing that you're interested in. So if it's like the shows that they produce, oh, what do you like about the shows, what do you like about like what they're doing in these different spaces, just kind of showing that you are interested in Sky and what they do. And yeah.
Perfect. So another question from Abdul is, can you give us an insight on the criteria students are judged on? Any kind of insight would be helpful. Firsthand from the people that have faced it.
I think we've kind of covered this before, and that there's not really a checkbox list of things that you need. And just from generally like to the point where you just need a degree, and it can be in anything, and it can be at any level. Like they're not looking for 2-1s or firsts or degrees in particular areas for certain programs. So that's, if that shows you anything about what they're actually after. Like they're not looking for like the highest caliber of academic, skills, can program, can do all that. I mean, if you can do all that, power to you. I can't do that. That's great. Something to talk about. But on the same token, it really is just trying to relax and just settle into yourself as much as well, like you're interviewing them as much as they're interviewing you.
Yeah, and to add to that, I really cannot emphasize the importance of collaboration. We literally just had like a 3-hour talk on collaboration. It's very, very important here. Like, there's never a time in any scheme where you're working completely by yourself. You're always going to be collaborating with people within your team, with other teams, across Sky, all over. So if there's any way where you can emphasize your commitment to collaboration, really emphasize on it.
Yeah, that's a great point. You spend your life on teams.
Yeah.
I don't really have much to add. I feel like everyone has covered essentially the same thing, so I have nothing to add.
I've got one thing to add, and that's just from my point of view, is that one of the things that we found that works for some students is, imagine that you already work for Sky. How would you answer those questions? So if you already live and feel those values, answer the questions in that way, because if you're already imagining yourself working for them, they can imagine you working with them. So that's just one thing that I've kind of worked out over some time.
Wonderful. Thank you so much. So kind of similar to questions that we've had before, can someone actually apply for an internship in a grad scheme? That's a question from Veronica.
I think I would have a question about why you would want to be applying for an internship and a grad program at the same time. I know normally, obviously, the internships are aimed at second year students, and if you do well through the internship, you're offered a grad position for the following year. So you would need to be free or have that time available afterwards. Ideally, you're going back to university and then coming back after your final year. So I suppose our question would be, why are you looking to apply for such a different type, unless it's a different type of program that you're interested in which case it would be more about working out which program you actually want, rather than trying to go for a different type of program. Does that make sense? But if you do feel like you are unsure and you don't really know what to go for, and you still like one and the other, then message us, email us at earlycareers@sky.uk, and hopefully we can help answer your questions or have a conversation with you.
Thanks, Sharon. Jacqueline has asked, what is the difference between the digital program and the data analytics program in terms of work? Oh, I think you're on mute, Sabaya, I think.
Sorry, I just want to say I'm not too sure what's part of the digital program, but I can talk you through my day-to-day for data and analytics. So the scheme is rotational, so you'll be in a different team every 6 months. So the team I'm in right now is econometrics. So what the general vibe in the project is that you'll take a whole bunch of data, you process it, you model it, and then you present it. But in a different team, for example, you might be in data science where it's completely different. So and I'm sure for digital it's the same. The work is very, very varied. But I'm not sure about the digital program. But data analytics is very varied. There's no like set task which you will do every single day.
Just off the back of that, Jamie has asked, would you recommend the data analytics scheme for someone with a computer science degree?
Yeah, so I did computer science, and here I am. So I very much would recommend it. The types are like the critical thinking and the skills that you learn in computer science are very suited to data and analytics. That being said, like I said, we have such a wide range of skills here. Like we have psychology, economics, maths, and even for other schemes, like Sky is not looking for specific technical background. Like I met a software engineer who did English literature at uni. There's a cybersecurity graduate who did philosophy at uni. So there's really no set person or skill that Sky is looking for. If you think you like the sound of a program, just apply for it.
Amazing. Oyen Consola has asked, does Sky provide mentorship opportunities or training opportunities for technical interns?
So yeah, I think this one's probably for me. So it's not mentorship per se, but you do get a buddy. So you are linked to a buddy when you go through the offer process. So you won't be on your own when you join. You also will join as part of a cohort. So you'll have your peers as well as your buddy. You'll have your line manager. You'll have the wider team that support you. So you're not necessarily on your own at any point, and you can always lean on the wider group if you have any questions, because basically everyone's been in the same space as you. So I would never be concerned about asking any questions when you're in Sky. They don't really have silly questions. If you don't know, you don't know, and it's better off asking. Did I answer the question?
Lovely. And Abigail has asked, how versatile is the business scheme to align with your future career aspirations?
I'll take this. It is quite versatile. So the first year, you kind of get assigned different rotations, but you have the opportunity to take on different projects within your team depending on what's available. So obviously I'm in the marketing team right now for Sky Protect, but I'm also able to like join on data stories, which is like looking at the data behind the products that they sell in Sky Protect. I'm also able to join trading calls because that's going to be my next rotation. In terms of aligning with my future like career aspirations, so I'm someone that's I really like numbers and I like clear cut things. So I will have the opportunity like at the end of my next rotation to choose my next 2 rotations. So I'm probably going to go into propositions or commercial, which are very like numbers heavy. But I also think this is just retrospectively, but I think because of how I presented myself in the interview in the assessment center, I'm someone that does a lot of creative things and a lot of like digital things. I think that's also why they placed me in like marketing and then trading, because they saw like my numbers background, but also that I was very, very creative. So I think within that, they also look at the type of person you are and what you present yourself like in the interview to kind of place you in your different rotations. And then even within this marketing role, I'm able to do like things that align with my creativity, like help videos and help with feature videos, which is like editing and like giving recommendations on different edits and stuff. So I think it's what you let your manager know you like and what you kind of want to get involved in, and that kind of shapes your trajectory through Sky. So yeah.
Yeah, I would agree with that. I think during my assessment day, I had a little bit of experience in project management ever so slightly from my previous job, which I talked about, and that was one of my main motivations for taking part in the scheme, because it was called Project Delivery. I think it changes its name every year, my scheme. So when I joined, it was Project Delivery. Before that, it was Change Delivery, and now it's Business Operations. So that encompasses sort of project management and business analysis as a combined role. And then you do rotations in Change Delivery, which is your project management, business analysis, and how you deliver a project. It's hard to explain because I've just started. And then you also do rotations in supply chain, which is obviously the movement of things. And my first rotation, there's 3 of us that started this scheme. My first one is in change delivery, which is the more project management thing. And I think that's because that came across in my interview that I had a little bit of experience or interest in that to start with. And I've noticed the other 2 people on my scheme where they've been placed seems very similar to their backgrounds as well. So they definitely do take that into account with your first rotation. And as you say, once you get into your second one, you get like your second year, you get to sort of, well, I really like this, or I didn't really like that, and then you can help like kind of mold it from there. But I'd also say that just because you start on one scheme doesn't mean that you're locked in that even after you finish the scheme. So even though I'm sort of going to be a business change manager ideally, I don't have to be. Once I've done my graduate scheme, if I've talked to other people and networked and been like, oh, I really want to take a look at this area instead, like they're very happy for you to network with different departments, and you can meet, people over there, and you can change. You could go into product and more techie roles from my space. I know someone in a grad scheme recently did that. He had a background in computer science. I think he did my graduate scheme, but he wanted to be more involved with the tech teams, so he became a product owner once he finished his tech team, which is his grad scheme, which is basically a project manager for all the techie guys that are building the stuff. So he has to have a bit more technical knowledge, and he's the liaison between the tech guys and us, basically. But what I'm trying to say is that you can move around. Sky, they coined squiggly careers, and everyone, if you ask about their Sky journey, it's all a bit weird. It's not linear at all. So you might start on one scheme and then end up doing something completely different once you've finished. Depends on what you're interested in.
Brilliant. I think this may be a question for you, Sharon. How many applications do the technology roles receive? Rough number from Rahul. Don't know if you know.
Yeah, it's a great question. So I'd probably say in terms of numbers, you're probably looking at about 8,000 applications across the tech programs every year. So there's quite a lot of interest in those programs, I have to say.
And how can students stand out? Like, what makes them stand out? Just as a follow-up from his question.
Do you want me to answer, or would you like the grads to answer?
Whoever would like to.
I'm happy to add to that. With that number 8,000, please don't let that deter you from applying. I know that sounds like a massive number, but just go for it. Honestly, just go for it. It's really not as daunting as it seems. And to stand out, in your second digital assessments, you'll have a video interview, like a one-side recorded one, through our platform. And for that, I would say just be really, really enthusiastic. So when I was applying, I was at one of these insight events, and the HR person said something that really stuck to me. It was that the camera cuts down your energy levels by like a third. So if you want to showcase how enthusiastic you really are, you have to up it by ×3, ×5. So just be very loud, very boisterous, very enthusiastic. That's what I would say, because I know the HR people sometimes, I'm not 100% sure about this, but they do watch those video assessments, especially when they're like after the assessment centers. So definitely just be super, super enthusiastic.
And I almost didn't make it in, so you never know what your chances are.
Yeah.
I would say along the same lines, like just apply. Like the worst that can happen is a no. Like if you don't apply, like you already know your answer essentially. In terms of standing out, like 100% be yourself. Like I have so many hobbies, so many interests, and I feel like I talked about almost all of them in like the online assessment, the interview. Like I was talking for days. So just make your personality be known, like have a laugh with the interviewers, be friendly, and like don't be a robot. Like as harsh as it sounds, like it comes across like when you're very robotic with your answers, when you've prepared everything word for word, line for line, and you're reading it off something. Like obviously prepare, but like allow your answers to flow. Like be a human. Like yeah.
Yeah, AI is trying to take over. Be human. Show them that humans are good. It's worthwhile to be human sometimes.
Thank you so much. And Tom asks, what does the trading rotation involve?
So I started only a month ago. So my answer will be very limited to what I've seen on the trading calls and like what I've kind of picked up. But the trading rotation, so there's two types. There's trading performance and voice trading. So trading performance is more so you track what happens on a week by week basis. So in terms of Sky Protect, we sell insurance. So that's home insurance and device insurance. So you track how much has been sold, and you put that into a spreadsheet, and then you look at what what's gone out that week. So if marketing has pushed an email, if they've done a digital something like launch, and you kind of basically explain the numbers that you see, the increase, decrease, or like the sustenance of the numbers based on what's gone on in the team during that week. But I think it does like vary a little bit depending on what type of, like what group you're in, like what vertical you're in. In terms of voice performance, that's more so to do, sorry, voice trading, that's more so to do with our like call centers. I'm not 100% sure what happens there, but I hope that answered your question. But if anyone knows a bit more, please feel free.
I don't know anything about trading. That was interesting though.
Yeah, I think I've got quite limited information about trading as well. But, you know, the voice trading is all about what happens on the calls with people. So it could be new customers, it could be the existing customers and upgrades and new like phones that come out, for example, the new iPhone that's come out and how that's performing and things like that. So I think that's that side of things.
Amazing, thank you so much. Summer, a little while ago, had asked, as someone who is looking for a grad program in tech, which program do you recommend me to join?
I
think
that,
only you can answer that. Depends what you want to do.
yeah, it really depends on just what you're interested in. They're also varied. Go with whatever your heart desires, really. Yeah.
I think if you're feeling unsure, obviously do the little quiz that we have on the website, but also check out some of our social content, like on LinkedIn and Instagram and TikTok and things, just because we have grads from different programs in terms of apprentices talk about their experience, what they're doing in their roles. So if you want to understand a little bit more about what they actually do from someone that does it, then it's always a great shout to jump on the socials.
Just to add to that, the Early Careers Sky LinkedIn is really good because the current grads are making a lot of content right now. So there's a video for day in the life of a data analyst, day in the life of a software engineer. So definitely check those out. Those are very authentic.
Wonderful. I'm just looking through some new questions are coming through now.
Actually, if I could just jump in quickly, because I noticed something in the chat related to what we were speaking about before about internships versus grad scheme. I know that someone mentioned, Ben, that he's doing an integrated master's, which requires an internship in the summer. This came up a few times when I was doing the Heriot Watt Careers Fair, and I think some of them have like they need to be at least 3 months long or something like that. The internships are only 8 weeks. So if that's your criteria, then the internship might not be appropriate for those on an integrated master's if your requirement is like a 3 to 4 months type thing. I hope that clears that up. I just want to mention that.
Thanks, Becky. A couple of students have mentioned LinkedIn. So one student had asked if it would be possible to connect with all of you on LinkedIn, and another student has asked, what is the Early Career Sky LinkedIn?
So we don't have a specific early careers LinkedIn account. We have the corporate kind of Sky account called Life at Sky. So, but either way, I think it's just the LinkedIn and then /Sky, and that should take you to our page.
Like, yeah, guys, feel free to connect with me on Sky on Sky on on LinkedIn. It's literally just my name. And feel free to ask me any questions or any other things. There may be a lag in my response time, but I will respond. I promise.
Yeah, I was going to say same. Mine's just my name. I'm easy to find. I've got Sky in my little bio thing, whatever it's called. But I don't check it every day. Maybe once a month, but I'll try my best.
Yeah, same here. It's just Zabia Malik. Feel free. I'm happy to answer particularly the techie questions.
Amazing. A couple more questions from before. So are there any upcoming marketing or creative opportunities within Sky's early careers programs in London?
Okay, what do you mean by that? Because I mean, like, when you're in the like early careers, like grad programs, you have the opportunity to become like an early careers champion. And there's something else, I can't remember the name of it. But essentially you work with the early careers team to create content, speak at events, host different things, talk, network with different people. So maybe that's what you mean. So recently I got the opportunity to like film 5 things I didn't know about Sky. So I was able to film that at different locations on campus, and then send that off to the early careers team. They did a little bit of jigging around, but it's gonna come out soon. So you do have opportunities to like market yourself within Sky, meet different people, network at their different events and host different things, if that's what you're talking about.
Lovely, thank you, Anu. And Binjang has asked, are there any internship opportunities in the media industry at Sky Sports? I'm currently a postgrad student.
As far as I know, there isn't one at the moment, but it doesn't mean that they won't might not be one in the future. So I'd probably say keep an eye on the website, obviously the wider website, because there might be sort of entry level opportunities within Sky Sports that become available outside of early careers.
Lovely, thank you, Sharon. So a lot of these questions are similar to questions that have been answered before. So I'm wondering if it would be nice to hear from all of you, like just a last bit of advice, as we have about 5-ish minutes to go. Any last bits of advice or any just key takeaways that you want the students who are kind of logged in today to kind of take home, take into their applications? Yeah, maybe all of you could just say take a minute or two, just kind of giving your advice.
I think my main advice is literally to what I mentioned before. It's just the same thing. So make sure that you find something about Sky that you like, that makes you, that lights a fire under you. If you can find something about Sky that makes you passionate and like, oh yeah, I really want to work for them, that'll come across naturally when you do your interviews and things. You won't have to try. Like those questions can become awkward when like, you know, like, oh, why do you want to work in this yogurt factory? Because I need a job. Like it's not those tail answers. Because I know there was someone in my assessment center who, like, when it was doing a round table, like, why do you want to apply? He was like, oh, well, I was traveling for a year and now I need to find a job. And I'm like, good luck. I don't think he made it. I haven't seen him since, but like something like that. Like, make sure that this job is something that you want to do, and check out other grad schemes as well, and make sure that you've done your research. And when you apply for this one, you're applying for a reason. As long as you're applying for a reason, I think that'll come across and that'll set you up.
Just to even add to that, definitely let your personality shine. Like, be yourself in these interviews, be yourself in these assessment centers, because ultimately they're not just recruiting you to do a job, they're recruiting you to be their colleague. Like, they want to be able to see you around Sky and like smile and wave and say, hey, like, I remember you from the assessment center, or like just being able to talk to you. Because one thing I've realized since joining as well is like, it's not like a facade. Like, people are genuinely welcoming, people genuinely want to sit down and talk to you. Like, you can go into anyone's calendar and like pop some time in for a coffee catch up. Like, genuinely everybody is willing to talk to you. So just let your personality shine, and so show them that you're somebody that they can work with. So yeah.
I completely agree with everything that's been said. Be super authentic, really just be yourself, because as Annie just said, they're recruiting a colleague, someone that they want to talk to for at least 2 years. And everyone here has such a unique and friendly personality. They want to add to that culture. So really just be yourself, be collaborative, be open, and you'll fit in with Sky just right.
Yeah, I would say that even that, like, everyone being welcoming and approachable, that even extends to like the big wigs. I know when we first started, they introduce you to a ton of people. You won't remember anyone's name, you won't remember anyone's face, and that's okay. But like, we even had meetings with heads of department and things, and it was just like a casual catch up. They want to know about you. They're like, oh, so why are you here? And what is this? And they're curious about you, and they want you to ask questions about them. And like, so it definitely extends up the chain as well. It's not just like your peers in the company that are welcoming. It's everybody that I've met so far.
The Sky has a really, really informal hierarchy. So I have like regular catch-ups with the director of the entire wider team, which is so cool. We had a recent bake-off, and all of the managers and everyone all collaborated together. We all brought in sweets and had a little competition. It was very lovely. So exactly, yeah. So just be yourself. Honestly, be super friendly, super bubbly.
Yeah, and I think, it's lovely to hear what you guys have said. And I think the only thing that I would say is that, is to actually apply. If you like, what you've heard, if you can imagine yourself working with us, then, definitely apply. Like, you already, you don't count yourself out. Just put your application form in and, see how you get on.
I just want to add a quick little thing. So I personally didn't do an internship. I didn't do a placement year, nothing like that. And at the time, it felt like, oh my God, I didn't have an internship. No one's gonna hire me. But Sky really is so open. Like, they're really not looking for that. So even if you think, oh, I have no chance, just apply, because you never know. Um, you never really know. Just honestly, just apply.
Wonderful. Thank you so much all. Now, as a final question, I guess, for Sharon, where can students apply, and what is live right now, just as a reminder, exactly which roles are live so students know, and where can they apply?
Yeah, so your best bet is to jump onto our website. So go to skyearlycareers.com, all one word. That'll take you to our page where you can look at our graduate opportunities and our intern opportunities, which are live. We have the business programs. We have the business sales program that's live. We've got business ops that's live. We've got data analytics, data science, and we have finance that's live as well. And obviously we've got some internships in the same spaces. So, just jump on the website and have a look.
Thank you so much. Thank you to all of you for joining today and engaging with this webinar and asking some fantastic questions for our team here at Sky. And thank you so much to all 4 of you for joining us and giving all your insights into your experiences at Sky. Even I want to work for Sky now. You really sold it. Thanks. So have a lovely day, everybody. If you need more information, you can also go onto the Target Jobs website and look at Sky's profile there for any further information on roles and the culture at Sky, etc., etc. So thank you all so much. We're going to end the webinar there. Have a great day, everybody, and hopefully see you at a future webinar.
Thank you.
Bye, guys.
Bye.
Thanks.
Bye.